I literally predicted this just months ago, and look where we are now, good folks. Also, I'm playing the finals footage in the background because I'm having some issues with Payday 3 and 2 at the moment. I mean, it really just rains with it pours, huh? Like, this is definitely not a good time to be a fan of the Payday franchise. And one more thing before I begin, I'm going to be 100% ruthless in this video. I can often come off as, let's say, collected, but you're about to see me almost 100% unfiltered. Not entirely because it wouldn't be allowed on YouTube probably, but just like many players right now, I am not happy, and it's best to expect very aggressive commentary. So if you're someone who can't handle that, go ahead and just bounce. But enough rambling. I'm sure you all saw the Q3 reports for Starbreeze, and if you haven't, I'll link it in the description. Like I've said in the past, I'm not a news guy. I'm a gameplay guy, so go to your Red Archers, your Rusty Chains, and any other Payday guys if you want a breakdown. But this report is word for word, bar for bar, what I was worried about no more than 2 months ago when I said Payday 3 is running out of time. Here's a small segment of what I said towards the end of that video. I was at one point more optimistic about a repeat of what happened with Payday 2, but that was a decade ago. The industry has just changed too much, and I don't see how it's feasibly possible to continue to supporting the game long term. But if you disagree, let me know in the comments. I'm always open to alternatives, even though I think the writing is on the wall for this game, but I'd love to hear what any of you would have to say as well. Now, at the time, I was dead serious about my concern for Payday 3's future, but in a way, I was also optimistic. The thing about expectations is they can swing so quickly on the pendulum that there's always room for a redemption arc, and that's been the case for Payday 3. I say going back to the launch of Boys in Blue, an update of great importance that was once again squandered by the incompetence of one person who couldn't be bothered to give a when the fans called out certain changes. I'm not even going to mention his name, but as former game director, he did his best, like Bob Anderson, and to a lesser extent, David Goldfarb, even though I think some of his ideas were unappreciated at the time. Again, swings one way, swings back. Updates and events that had potential to catapult the interest in the game was halted by a guy whose stubbornness held together the status quo and mediocrity and just downright pathetic longevity issues we were all already starting to see. And you know what makes this even worse? You leave Almer and Andreas in a super difficult position. I honestly hope those two depart this garbage company and go somewhere where their talent and genuineness and passion is appreciated. I mean, you're just fanning the flames in his direction, seeing as he's like the first contact or line of communication with the community, and I do not envy his job. Constantly having to tiptoe around unbelievably basic questions that any community manager should be able to answer, or having to eat his words because his optimism is backstabbed by higher-ups who don't give two about the barrage of hate he and his team are about to face. If this thing collapses under them, I sincerely hope he goes somewhere where he can succeed and thrive, and as well as the Payday team, because they all rock. And it's not their fault, it's these higher-ups' fault in not knowing what the they're doing with the company. It really sucks to see people who mean well and are very good at what they do constantly being undercut by these dudes whose greasy hands never held a controller in their goddamn life. I mean, listen to me, right? I'm not a major in corporate finance or anything. As a matter of fact, I majored in architecture design, and when my advisors they suggested business ethics as my minor, I damn near walked out of the counseling room. But even I, a couple of months ago, could have seen this coming and been like, hey, this isn't working, guys. This isn't working. You can't just release massive updates with game-breaking bugs and glitches, or go 6 months without putting out even the basic essentials to try to revive this game and expect to, I don't know, your chickens to just shit gold bricks for you or something. Like, I don't know, just the game's just gonna be successful. We just let it sit there, just like anything. You let it sit out in the sun or something, and it's gonna flourish or something. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't understand what they were doing. I don't understand like the thought process behind that. But it seems like these people only hear short-term results. Like, I wholeheartedly thought this game would double its support in 2025 and then teeter off after that, maybe. Like I said in the video, I definitely did not expect them to ramp down support after a year and some change of the game's release. To me, it just absolutely blew my mind when I was going through the report. And I don't even want to hear anything about, they said it's going to be the same volume. Like, GTA 6 will already be out if such bullshit like that was actually true. They only care about riding this thing out into 2025, maybe early 2026 at the absolute latest, and then pull all support and go, we thank you for your years of support and included blah 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 blah. Oh wait, we have layoffs? Oh well, whatever. We'll just keep on with the message of your continued support, and we really can't wait to show you what we have in store. You know, all that corporate bullshit talk, right? The stuff that doesn't mean anything to us, who obviously can see right through it. I sincerely hope that whatever happens to this game and the team working on it pans out well, and it somehow magically receives a massive influx in interest for whatever partnerships they said they're like going to be going for. But if it doesn't, none of this will be on that team who's worked on Payday 3 constantly for the past year. I've been rooting for that team since day one. No, wait, that was actually a lie. I've been rooting for them since like the start of Operation Medic Bag, maybe. And if all that hard work essentially goes to waste because the guy who buys oat milk lattes and has a 10-car garage thinks he knows what's best for the franchise he's never played, then I don't know. I've lost all hope to this point that they actually know what they're going to do. But I'm going to go ahead and take a step back and look at the positives of the situation. Oh right, there is none. It's all hands on deck for Project Baxter. Now, let's play a game real quick. Overkill already had an unbelievable and catastrophic failure with The Walking Dead, which never even seen the light of day, but let's pretend for a sec that that didn't even happen. Can you guys recall a studio recently who struggled to put together great established games they're known for, and recently released a game that was endlessly mocked and compared to Baldur's Gate 3 for how shallow it was in comparison? Ding ding ding! If you said non-BioWare, as I'm going to go ahead and call it now, you're correct. And can you connect the dots to this supposed D&D style RPG game made by a brilliant team headed up by god-awful leadership? If there aren't already red flags and sirens going off everywhere for you, you're probably a lost cause at this point. Now, I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face, and I'll keep showing my playtime because it validates everything I'm about to say. This game will flop harder than Joel Embiid if it even attempts to do anything similar to what Baldur's Gate 3 has done. I mean, aside from it being my favorite game of all time, it came completely out of nowhere with no negative press attached to the company making it, and in all honesty, I don't somehow see how like a magical switch can be flipped from the release of Payday 3's launch to the launch of this game. To say a lot is like riding on this game's success is an understatement, but I've yet to see something tangible from this company, even in terms of releases, to say that this will be any different. Again, that's not what I'm hoping for. In case someone watches this video and thinks they know all about me and now thinks that I want these games to fail. But when you have a decade's worth of evidence and put it in front of a skeptic's face, what other conclusion am I supposed to come to? And I'm sure the same can be said for the fan base of Payday. This is no longer the hype, naive squad of the Big Fry, the Ackman fans who didn't even touch a second of Payday 2 and just flocked to Payday 3 immediately. We're clued in on the stupidity that's led Starbreeze astray, and if you weren't already worried about Payday 3's future, you definitely should be now. But let's see where this goes, yeah? I'm super excited to see how they'll f it up and waste years of hard work from hardworking people, and I can't wait to see if they actually do subvert expectations, or if they're actually a duck after all. You know, it looks like a duck. They're probably a duck, but let's just see where it goes. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm done rambling, and I'm getting heated more than I actually want to, so that's it. I'll see you next time.